Did you know the Sirian High Council exists? A clandestine intergalactic group has manipulated the human race for eons without our knowledge. But ancient texts hint at a sinister reason behind their guidance, a looming cosmic threat that humanity is ill-equipped to face alone. Their interference isn't just about technological progress. It's a complete rewrite of our spiritual destiny, controlling our path to enlightenment. The Sirian star system, a binary star system located in the constellation Canis Major, is home to beings of immense technological and spiritual prowess. Said to possess mastery over interdimensional travel, genetic engineering, and energy manipulation, the Sirians are often depicted as a civilization far exceeding our current understanding. Sirius A, the brightest star in the night sky, is orbited by Sirius B, a white dwarf star of immense density and gravitational pull. These characteristics contribute to the unique energetic signature of the Sirian system, which many believe is a source of advanced knowledge and spiritual power. Ancient texts speak of the Sirians as beings of light, capable of manipulating reality with their thoughts, and possessing a deep understanding of the universe's hidden laws. They are said to have mastered the art of consciousness transfer, allowing them to transcend physical limitations and exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. So, what if the Sirians have been subtly shaping human history, guiding our development from behind the scenes? Contrast this with the mainstream historical narratives, and a chasm appears. Where conventional history attributes human progress to our own ingenuity and resourcefulness, alternative theories posit a more active role for extraterrestrial intervention. The Annunaki, for example, are often cited as having seeded human civilization in Sumer, providing advanced knowledge of agriculture, mathematics, and astronomy. But are the Annunaki of Nibiru the good guys or the bad guys? This reveal will play off previous interpretations of the Sumerian gods. Now, experts suggest we dive into who the Sumerians really were and were they in contact with the Sirians at one point. The Sirians, in this context, could be seen as either collaborators with the Annunaki, rivals vying for control of humanity, or perhaps even a more ancient and influential force, subtly guiding both groups towards their own ends. Ancient astronaut theories propose that many of humanity's technological and cultural advancements were gifts from these extraterrestrial benefactors, bypassing the slow, incremental process of natural development. But are the Sirians truly benevolent guardians or manipulative overlords? The ancient texts offer conflicting accounts. Some portray them as wise teachers, guiding humanity towards enlightenment and helping us overcome existential threats. Alleged channeling experiences describe the Sirians as beings of pure love and light, dedicated to assisting humanity in our spiritual evolution. Yet other accounts paint a darker picture, depicting the Sirians as controlling and manipulative, using humanity as a resource for their own purposes. Are they acting out of necessity, driven by a threat we are not yet aware of? Perhaps they genetically modified humans to serve as a defense against a hostile interdimensional force. And this interview of a self-proclaimed psychic recalls a pre-birth agreement to protect the Earth. In this scenario, humanity's free will would be an illusion, with every major decision guided by the Sirians' invisible hand. The stakes are high. The future of humanity may depend on understanding the Sirians' true agenda and discerning whether we are being led towards a golden age of enlightenment or a dystopian future of control and manipulation. But what if the Sirian High Council isn't acting out of altruism, but rather self-preservation, using humanity as a pawn in a cosmic game? To unravel this cosmic conspiracy, we must delve into the ancient texts, decode the hidden symbols, and examine the genetic echoes of the Sirian High Council's influence on human evolution. We shall begin by exploring the truth behind the Sumerian tablets and what secrets they hold. What's really fascinating is that the Sirian High Council's true agenda paints humanity as a genetically engineered army, not for Earth, but for a looming interdimensional threat, a war against dark entities far beyond our comprehension. This is not the altruistic guidance we might hope for, but a calculated manipulation for galactic survival, reframing them not as benevolent guardians, but strategic tacticians in a cosmic chess game where Earth is merely a pawn. But what exactly is this interdimensional threat? To understand their strategy, we must delve into suppressed accounts of ancient encounters. The Book of Avian, a rediscovered ancient text, details human-Sirian interactions and outlines the genetic modifications bestowed upon humanity to enhance our combat capabilities. It speaks of the Sirians' advanced bioengineering, focusing on alterations to strength, psychic abilities, and resistance to harsh environments. Passages describe how the Sirians manipulated human DNA to imbue us with the capability to interface with advanced technology and wage intergalactic warfare, and we see corresponding evidence in Sumerian cuneiform tablets. They reference star-born physicians performing genetic experiments on early humans, altering their very essence. But what is the price of this protection? Are we merely weapons, robbed of our free will and pre-programmed for a cosmic war we didn't choose? Or are we a protected species with a crucial role to play in the universe's destiny? It's a conflict between individual autonomy and collective survival, questioning whether the Sirians had the right to alter human destiny, even for the greater good. But what if we humans begin to develop abilities that surpass the Sirians' expectations, leading to either a powerful alliance or a dangerous rebellion? And this is what they fear most. But did the Sirians only experiment on humans? What of the Annunaki, their contemporaries in ancient Sumeria? Were they allies, competitors, or even subjects of similar genetic tampering? This leads us to a crucial question that's been suppressed for millennia. Now, newly deciphered sections of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth detail a Sirian-Anunnaki conflict over control of human destiny. Passages depict Thoth as a rebel against the Sirian High Council, seeking to liberate humanity from their genetic control. "Hearken ye, O man," Thoth was saying. "The Sirians seek to bind you to their will, but within you lies the spark of true freedom." Could it be that the Anunnaki were actually beings from another galaxy, one consumed by a black hole, driving them to seek refuge on Earth? What if the Anunnaki were refugees of a destroyed galaxy that sought help from the Sirians, which led to their genetic modification in order to survive on Earth, therefore making them a slave race? But here's what most people miss. Both the Anunnaki and humans hold genetic markers of the Sirians, hinting that both had been modified by this race of beings. Ancient texts and proposed genetic markers connect the two races, suggesting both were modified to complete a specific mission or serve as slaves for the Sirians. This marks a pattern interrupt. This is a complete rewrite of everything you know about the Anunnaki and humanity. Now, let us explore the possibility that the Anunnaki's rebellion was a deliberate Sirian experiment, testing the limits of their genetic control and the potential for human resistance. What if the Anunnaki rebellion was a controlled burn, designed to weed out undesirable traits and refine the human genetic code for combat effectiveness? Were the Anunnaki just pawns in a much larger game? If the Anunnaki were created through genetic modification, what is the alien gene they held, and how can that same key unlock human potential? Does the same genetic code that altered the Anunnaki lie dormant within humans, acting as a trigger for advanced abilities or a hidden connection to the Sirian High Council? The answer might be closer than you think. Now, let's introduce the concept of a God gene, or star gene-specific DNA sequences that unlock dormant psychic and spiritual abilities in humans. This gene is linked to ancient mystical traditions and practices, suggesting it can be activated through meditation, energy work, or exposure to specific frequencies or environments, like specific types of caves. What if alleged Sirian technology, designed to activate this gene, is hidden within ancient structures and artifacts? Diagrams of pyramids, obelisks, and other megalithic structures claim they function as resonant chambers that amplify specific frequencies, stimulating the God gene in individuals nearby. What are the implications if the awakening of the God gene prepares humanity for the coming interdimensional conflict, turning them into powerful warriors or spiritual defenders? Could humans develop abilities such as telekinesis, telepathy, and energy manipulation, positioning them as a formidable force against the looming darkness? But there are risks: the potential for misuse of these abilities, the rise of power-hungry individuals, and the destruction of society. What if some humans embrace their newfound powers while others reject them out of fear, leading to social unrest and internal conflict? So let's summarize what we've learned. First, we talked about Sirian genetic manipulation. Then, the Annunaki rebellion. Then, the God gene and the impending interdimensional war. All these events are interconnected, with the Sirians orchestrating them for a hidden agenda. But the future of humanity hangs in the balance, dependent on understanding the Sirians' agenda and embracing their potential. The question remains: can humanity rise above its programmed role and forge its own path, or are we destined to fulfill the Sirians' plan? But we're just scratching the surface. What we'll discover next is even more shocking as we dive into the Emerald Tablets for even greater insight. But what if the Sirian High Council isn't just proactively defending against a cosmic threat, but actively instigating events? The core of this is the idea that humanity is not being prepared for defense, but is being weaponized for a war against entities of pure chaos. This intervention isn't just a benevolent act. It's a strategic play in an ancient interdimensional war where galaxies are consumed by darkness. But who or what are these void bringers, and why are they so feared? Imagine galaxies consumed by an endless night. The void bringers, entities that feed on consciousness, are capable of corrupting entire civilizations, plunging them into eternal darkness. The Sirians, as a desperate vanguard, are fighting to preserve order, but their methods are questionable, and this all goes back to the ancient Sumerians. Now, let's introduce the Book of Ina, a newly discovered Sumerian text that offers a dissenting perspective on the Sirian High Council's motives. Ina, a prominent Annunaki goddess, expresses concern about the Sirians' methods, viewing them as overly aggressive and potentially destructive. "Hearken ye, O man," Ina was saying. "The Sirians come bearing gifts, but their hands are stained with the blood of worlds. They seek to make you warriors, but they care not for your spirit." In this ancient record, Ina challenges the Sirians' motives. The Book of Ina details accusations that the Sirians are suppressing human spiritual development in favor of combat prowess. "They offer you strength, but deny you wisdom," so says Ina in the ancient records. "They forge you into weapons, but leave your souls barren." This ancient text goes on to say that true strength comes from enlightenment, not brute force, and that the Sirians are creating a generation of spiritually stunted warriors. The real question is, was Ina a misguided idealist, or a visionary who saw the true danger of the Sirians' path? Was her concern about the Sirians a desire for greater control over humanity, or a genuine concern for their well-being? After all, Ina, in her writings, expresses a desire to see humanity thrive, not merely survive as soldiers in a cosmic war. Consider the implications of the Sirians suppressing human spirituality. Are they afraid of humanity's potential, or are they simply prioritizing survival above all else? Perhaps the Sirians fear that awakened humans could pose a threat to their own power, or worse, accidentally attract the attention of the Void Bringers, but that could be just what the Void Bringers want to occur. But Iana wasn't alone in her distrust of the Sirians. Is there evidence of resistance in our own past? How do the Emerald Tablets relate to this story? This leads us to another pivotal figure in this galactic drama. What's key is that the Emerald Tablets are not just a set of ancient teachings. They contain clues to the conflict at play. Now, within the Emerald Tablets, new passages have been found that suggest that Thoth altered the tablets in order to warn of the Sirian dangers and the potential for genetic dependence. "List ye, O man," Thoth wrote. "The Sirians offer knowledge, but their gifts come with a price. Beware the serpent's embrace, for it coils around your very soul." Thoth, according to the tablets, attempted to create a hidden lineage of enlightened humans, capable of resisting the void bringers on their own terms. The tablets show that he worked in secret, preserving ancient knowledge and spiritual practices, passing them down through secret societies and mystery schools. He hoped that these enlightened humans could serve as a counterforce against the Sirians' control and a beacon of hope in the coming darkness. But was Thoth a paranoid prophet, or a wise leader who saw the true nature of the Sirian High Council? Perhaps Thoth was privy to information about the void bringers that the Sirians were keeping secret, leading him to distrust their motives. So was he also a good or bad guy? Let's not forget that the Sirians may have deliberately cultivated a false god image to control humanity, suppressing true spiritual understanding. After all, the Sirians may have manipulated religious beliefs and practices to maintain their power, presenting themselves as benevolent deities while secretly manipulating human destiny. What's more, perhaps some of the Annunaki had different ideas on the implementation of the Sirian plan. If the Sirians want to create a defense force using human beings and the Annunaki, what is it about the God gene that could either save us or doom us all? We must shift our focus to understanding how this gene can either empower us or lead to our destruction. This is where the stakes become intensely personal. Now, let's review the scientific evidence. The God gene is connected to increased psychic abilities, empathy, and spiritual awareness. Studies on the correlation between specific genetic markers and heightened intuition, telepathy, and energy sensitivity are revealing. Could this be the key to unlocking our full potential? The potential for humans to develop abilities such as telekinesis, remote viewing, and energy healing, becoming powerful defenders against the void bringers, is possible. Imagine a future where humans can manipulate matter with their minds, communicate telepathically across vast distances, and heal themselves and others through the power of intention. Is that really the goal for the future? But there's a shadow side. We must analyze the risks associated with the God gene, the potential for misuse of psychic abilities, the rise of power-hungry individuals, and the corruption of spiritual ideals. Envision a world where some humans use their newfound powers for selfish gain, manipulating others, amassing wealth, and seeking to dominate society. Would the Sirians allow this to happen? And what of the Sirians' potential for controlling the God gene? Could they have built-in safeguards to prevent humans from becoming too powerful or rebelling against their control? Perhaps the Sirians have implanted genetic triggers that can be activated or deactivated remotely, allowing them to control the expression of the God gene in individuals. What if this ability is tied to the sun or another celestial event? So let's bring this all together. The interdimensional war, the Book of Iana, Thoth's warnings, the God gene, and the potential for both empowerment and corruption. All of these elements are interconnected, painting a complex and troubling picture. How can we make any sense of this? The future of humanity depends on understanding the Sirians' agenda, harnessing the power of the God gene, and resisting the void bringers. We must act quickly to prepare for the coming conflict, but also to avoid falling into the trap of manipulation and control. We must be wary. So what's it all mean? Will humanity succumb to the Sirians' plan, or will they forge their own destiny, embracing their potential for both good and evil. Perhaps that outcome isn't up to us at all, but we're just scratching the surface of this idea as we peel back the truth. What we'll discover next about the Sirians and the Void Bringers is even more shocking as we dive into the connection with the Annunaki. Did you know the Sirian High Council is not just reacting to threats, but strategically shaping events across dimensions? The core of their involvement isn't merely about genetic tinkering. It's a complex, multi-layered strategy in an ancient interdimensional war, subtly shifting the narrative from direct control to calculated influence. Imagine a cosmic chessboard where humanity and other races are pieces, moved and sacrificed for strategic advantage in a game against unimaginable darkness. Think of humanity as a key pawn with hidden potential, and the Sirians are meticulously using every tool at their disposal to secure victory in this war. They may have even been trying to subtly control the Annunaki. But what makes humanity such a crucial chess piece? What unique qualities do we possess that make us so valuable in this cosmic game? Now, let's delve into the Akashic Records, a controversial source of knowledge said to contain the entire history of the universe, to uncover alleged excerpts describing the Sirians' first contact with Earth. According to these records, the Sirians initially assessed Earth and its inhabitants, focusing on our perceived potential for spiritual growth and connection to the cosmos, something they believed was rare in the galaxies they'd explored. List ye, O man, so says the ancient texts, Earth's children possess a spark, a connection to the all that could either save or doom the cosmos. The Sirians' initial plans for human evolution, as depicted in the Akashic Records, emphasized a utopian vision of peaceful coexistence and mutual enlightenment. Imagine a future where humanity and the Sirians work together, exploring the universe and unlocking the secrets of consciousness, sharing knowledge and wisdom across the stars. Is this utopian vision too idealistic, or was it a genuine possibility before events took a darker turn? But let's analyze these early Sirian plans in light of later events, highlighting the tragic shift from benevolent guidance to strategic manipulation. How do we reconcile this initial utopian vision with the current state of humanity, rife with conflict, suffering, and environmental destruction? What happened to the promise of peaceful coexistence and mutual enlightenment? What made them change? Perhaps the emergence of the Void Bringers, those entities of pure chaos we discussed before, forced the Sirians to alter their plans, sacrificing their original vision for the sake of survival. Was this a necessary evil, or did it set humanity on a path towards destruction? They were forced to prioritize combat prowess over spiritual development, leading to the suppression of certain human abilities and the manipulation of human genetics. But was this a justified sacrifice, or did it ultimately doom humanity to a path of endless conflict? Have the Sirians lost sight of their original goals, becoming consumed by their war against the Void Bringers? Are they becoming the very thing they are trying to destroy? What price will the human race pay in this cosmic chess game between the Sirians and the Void Bringers? Evidence suggests that the Sirians are engaging in increasingly ruthless tactics in their war against the Void Bringers, such as genetic engineering and resource exploitation. With their advanced technology, the Sirians may have been manipulating human emotions, suppressing dissent, and controlling the flow of information, all in the name of fighting this interdimensional war. Are we truly free, or are we puppets dancing to the tune of a cosmic agenda? They may be exploiting Earth's natural resources, potentially causing ecological damage and disrupting the planet's delicate balance. Are the Sirians' actions sustainable, or are they sacrificing Earth's long-term health for short-term gains in their war against the Void Bringers? Perhaps the Sirians' use of underground bases is causing earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, destabilizing the planet in their desperate attempt to gain an advantage. Let's consider the ethical implications of the Sirians' actions. Are their methods justified by the threat they face? Can sacrificing individual freedom for the sake of collective security be ethically sound? What right do the Sirians have to make such decisions on behalf of humanity? Are the Sirians becoming the very thing they are fighting against, embracing the darkness to combat the darkness? Is it possible that their ruthless tactics are corrupting their own values and potentially turning them into a force of destruction? Does this mean their original utopian plan was corrupt from its start? But what if the Void Bringers are not truly the ultimate evil? What if they are simply a force of change that the Sirians are trying to suppress? What would that mean for humanity? Could this so-called evil be what the human race needs to move forward? Could it be that the Sirians' fear of the Void Bringers is blinding them to a deeper truth about the nature of reality? Is it possible that the Void Bringers represent a necessary catalyst for evolution, challenging the Sirians' rigid control and forcing humanity to confront its own limitations? What if they're both wrong? So, the Sirians have had a shift in motives, are ruthless, and there's an ambiguous nature of the Void Bringers. All this leaves humanity in the middle. The future of humanity depends on understanding the true nature of this conflict. But are the Sirians truly protecting humanity, or are they leading us down a path of destruction? What secrets do they still hide from us, and what role will humanity play in this cosmic drama? Did you know that the Sirians aren't merely offering humanity a helping hand, but rather a gilded cage? And what if the price of their promised paradise is the very essence of what makes us human, our free will, our capacity for independent thought, and our ability to forge our own destiny? This isn't just a question of galactic politics. It's a battle for the very soul of humanity, a choice between engineered serenity and authentic self-discovery, where the lines between savior and enslaver become increasingly blurred. The core of this dilemma lies in the Sirians' alleged endgame. Are they preparing humanity for a glorious ascension into a higher state of being, or are they subtly guiding us towards a more sophisticated form of enslavement, one that targets our minds and spirits rather than our bodies? Consider, for example, how even with the best intentions, the Sirians' interventions might unintentionally erode our capacity for resilience, creativity, and critical thinking, the very qualities that have allowed us to overcome countless challenges throughout our history. Now, let's delve into the alleged Sirian covenant, piecing together fragments of information gleaned from various sources, including channeled communications from self-proclaimed contactees. These individuals claim to have received messages directly from the Sirian High Council, detailing their vision for a future golden age on Earth, a world bathed in perpetual peace, overflowing with abundance, and brimming with technological marvels beyond our wildest dreams. Imagine a world without disease, without poverty, without conflict, a utopian society where humans live in perfect harmony with nature and possess access to advanced healing technologies, all thanks to the benevolent guidance of the Sirians. List ye, O man, so the channeled messages say, the time of suffering is over. The Sirians have come to usher in an era of unprecedented enlightenment and prosperity. These messages further detail the Sirians' promise to guide humanity towards a higher state of consciousness, unlocking dormant psychic abilities that have lain dormant within us for millennia. They claim that we can overcome the limitations of the physical world and tap into our full potential as spiritual beings, all with the help of their advanced technologies and ancient wisdom. It's like a cosmic shortcut to enlightenment, bypassing the arduous journey of self-discovery and offering a pre-packaged path to spiritual awakening. But what they don't want you to know is that they may be promising what the human race has already earned through pain and hardship. Adding an intriguing layer to this narrative, previously declassified CIA documents, now available to the public, reveal a keen interest in the potential benefits of meditation and altered states of consciousness. These documents explore the possibility of tapping into the Akashic records, that universal library of knowledge we discussed before, and accessing information from other dimensions. It's almost as if the CIA, like the Sirians, recognize the potential for unlocking hidden human abilities and using them for strategic advantage. It has even been noted that those that have studied transcendental meditation have obtained a more calm and serene world. However, what happens when the price of paradise is control? What hidden strings are attached to this seemingly utopian vision? Is it possible that the Sirians' advanced technology could be used to monitor and manipulate human behavior, suppressing dissent and enforcing conformity under the guise of maintaining order? Imagine a world where every thought, every emotion, every action is carefully scrutinized and subtly influenced by an unseen force, all in the name of creating a perfect society. Is this really freedom, or is it just a more insidious form of control? Furthermore, we must consider the implications of relinquishing individual autonomy in exchange for a pre-packaged utopian society. Can genuine happiness and fulfillment be achieved through external control, or does true joy come from overcoming challenges and exercising free will? History shows us that true fulfillment comes from our own individual challenges. Is the Sirians offer a gilded cage? Is true freedom the freedom to fail and to learn from our mistakes, the freedom to question authority and challenge the status quo? Even the declassified CIA documents, while seemingly benign, raise concerns about the potential for manipulation. What if the techniques promoted in these documents could be used to induce a state of perpetual calm, suppressing critical thinking and discouraging dissent? What if the pursuit of inner peace becomes a tool for social control, pacifying the masses and preventing them from questioning the powers that be? While calm may seem like the status quo to some, the truth that they don't want you to know is, through years of human history, calm has been anything but the status quo. But not all of humanity was swayed by the Sirians' promises. From the shadows emerged an ancient order known as the Serpent's Wisdom, or the Brotherhood of the Snake, a clandestine group that dared to resist the Sirians' influence and champion the cause of human free will. Who were these rebels, and what made them so skeptical of the Sirians' benevolent intentions? Did they possess a deeper understanding of the Sirians' true agenda, a knowledge that was hidden from the rest of humanity? As we draw to the close of our exploration into the Sirian High Council and their alleged influence on human evolution, we are left with a profound question. What does this all mean for humanity's future in the grand cosmic tapestry? Are we destined to be puppets of powerful extraterrestrial forces, or do we possess the strength and wisdom to forge our own destiny? The choices humanity faces now are on a razor's edge and will impact our species for eons. Let us recapitulate the key points of our journey. We delved into the Sirians' genetic manipulation of early humans, the Annunnaki's rebellion against their plans, the latent potential of the God gene within us, and the ongoing conflict between the Sirian High Council and the enigmatic Brotherhood of the Snake. We have seen how these forces have shaped our history, our beliefs, and even our very DNA. Understanding this hidden history offers immense benefits. It grants us a deeper understanding of our origins, unlocks dormant psychic abilities, and provides the tools to resist manipulation and control. It empowers us to take control of our lives and contribute to a more enlightened future. Now, consider the Sirian paradox. Their actions, though seemingly benevolent, may ultimately lead to the erosion of human free will and spiritual autonomy. What if the Sirians, in their attempt to protect us from the Void Bringers, are inadvertently creating a world where humans are incapable of independent thought or action? It was revealed that the Anunnaki saw this long ago. So-and-so was saying, the help from the Sirians was not benevolence but control. They sought to break free from the Sirians' plan, recognizing that true strength comes from self-discovery and not from external manipulation. This Sirian-human conflict is not unique. It mirrors the universal struggle for freedom and self-determination, both on Earth and throughout the cosmos. The Sirians' actions echo historical examples of oppression and control, highlighting the importance of resisting tyranny in all its forms. The choice that humanity makes could determine not only the fate of Earth, but also the balance of power in the galaxy. We could either join the Sirians in their fight against the Void Bringers, becoming another pawn in their cosmic game, or we could forge our own path, becoming a beacon of freedom and enlightenment for other civilizations. But amidst this uncertainty, there is reason for hope. Humanity possesses immense potential for resilience, creativity, and spiritual growth. We have overcome countless challenges throughout our history, demonstrating our ability to adapt, innovate, and thrive even in the face of adversity. It reminds me of a time when I felt lost and overwhelmed, unsure of which path to take. It was only by trusting my intuition and embracing my own power that I was able to find my way. You too can embrace your own power and responsibility, recognizing that you have the ability to shape your destiny and contribute to a better world. So, what can you do? Seek the truth. Embrace freedom. Research the topics discussed in this video. Share this information with others. And above all, question everything. Trust your intuition and seek your own truth, even if it challenges conventional beliefs. Do not be afraid to challenge the status quo and forge your own path. Remember, the journey of exploration and self-discovery is never truly over. In our upcoming videos, we will delve even deeper into these mysteries, exploring the lost civilizations of Atlantis and Lemuria and the ongoing battle for consciousness. Until next time, remember that the power to create a better future lies within each of us. Visual cue, end screen with channel logo, social media links, and a montage of inspiring images of human potential and cosmic beauty. Let us revisit the Sirian symbols introduced earlier. Remember the geometric patterns and star constellations we discussed. These symbols are not merely decorative. They possess a dualistic nature, representing both advanced technology and spiritual manipulation. They can be used to unlock human potential, activating dormant psychic abilities and enhancing our cognitive functions. However, they can also be used to control human behavior, suppressing dissent and enforcing conformity. The key lies in understanding the intent and knowledge of the user. And what of the mythological parallels we drew throughout this video? The Sirian, creator-god mirroring figures like Prometheus or Quetzalcoatl. These are not mere coincidences. They are deliberate attempts by the Sirians and the Brotherhood of the Snake to influence human consciousness through storytelling. Myths are not simply fairy tales. They contain hidden truths about the nature of reality, the origins of humanity, and the ongoing battle between good and evil. By decoding these myths, we can gain a deeper understanding of the forces that have shaped our world. Finally, let us reiterate that the genetic echoes found in human DNA are a testament to the Sirians' intervention, but also a sign of our resilience and potential for evolution. These genetic markers, once dismissed as anomalies, can be activated through conscious intention, leading to the awakening of dormant psychic abilities and the realization of our full potential. By embracing our true nature, we can transcend the limitations imposed upon us and create a future of unprecedented enlightenment and prosperity. But here is the biggest reveal of all, the one that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. The Void Bringers are not an external enemy. They are a reflection of humanity's own dark side, its capacity for greed, violence, and self-destruction. The Sirians are not simply trying to protect us from an external threat. They are trying to help us overcome our own inner demons and create a more peaceful and enlightened world. Ultimately, the battle against the Void Bringers is a battle for the soul of humanity, a struggle to choose love over fear, compassion over hate, and creation over destruction.